Mint Mobile is sponsoring this edition of MacVoices. Stop paying for unlimited data you never use. Choose between plans with 3, 8, or 12 gigabytes of 4G LTE data. Visit mintmobile.com/MacVoices to get the plan shipped to your door for free. MacVoices is at ShowStoppers in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, Paul of Hoop is going to tell us about their security camera that is a bit more, I think, than a security camera, Paul.
Absolutely. The Hoop is actually a security camera with a lot of extra features. So it's not your typical security camera, because one of the things that we designed Hoop with, we went out to we went out to all the individuals out there that have security cameras, and we talked to them about what they like and what they dislike about their cameras. One of the things that really got on a lot of people's nerves is the fact that they got an overwhelming number of alerts. So we looked at that and we said, we want to make sure that we're providing a system that actually allows for what we call relevant notifications. So it cuts through all the noise of little bits of movement, other things that really are irrelevant to the user, and we allow the user to decide exactly the amount of notifications that they get.
Okay, so we're all familiar with security cameras,
Sure.
and we're all familiar with those notifications. But you guys do things a little bit different, that not only can I control the notifications, but I can have them do other things.
Absolutely. With the Hoop, what we've designed into it is a facial recognition system so that you set up individual profiles for anyone that you like, family members or friends or whoever you want to have a profile. And with those profiles, you can do a number of things. So what you can do is you can set up reminders, so smart reminders. In other words, in my house, I have a smart reminder that basically says, when I get home on Wednesday night, remind Paul on Wednesday night after 7 p.m. when I get home, when it sees my face, to remind me to take out the trash, because I'm notorious for not doing that. So this actually keeps me on track. But you can do other things like remind the kids when they get home from school to do their homework or walk the dog or different things like that. And for each profile, you can set specific reminders for each one of those profiles. Then in addition to that, with those profiles, Hoop will actually tell you when people you know and people you don't know are in the house. So for instance, my daughter can come home and it'll say, Victoria has arrived at home. I also see 3 faces I don't recognize. So I instantly know that she has friends with her or other people with her, so I can check on that. And that's one of those things where you just want to know who's in your house at different times. A great thing also about the Hoop is Hoop will actually tell you when something that should be happening is not happening. So for instance, you can set what we call a schedule for each individual person. So that profile will have a schedule that says, like we normally have a routine, and that's what we call it. So the routine will be you get up at a certain time, you leave to go to work, you come home. So for instance, with my son, his school bus arrives at 3:30 in the afternoon. So I'd like to know and make sure that he got home. And what I have set up with the Hoop is that I give it a half an hour. So if Hoop doesn't recognize him by 4 o'clock, I actually get a text from Hoop that says, if he doesn't see Michael, it says it's 4:01, Michael has not been seen yet. So what this does is this gives you the peace of mind of being able to keep on schedule and know when things happen, and also know when things don't happen that can be important to you.
I want to go back for a second to, you recognize Victoria.
Sure.
So how much training is involved for it to know that Victoria is Victoria?
So what you do is you set up the profile. Each profile literally will take you about 3 minutes to set up. It takes one photograph of you and actually uses that for facial recognition. Then you put in a few key pieces of information about that person, and then you set up their profile. So with the profile, you can set up each individual reminder for that specific person, and then you set up their routine. So my son and my daughter's routine are quite different. So what I will do is I'll set up the typical times, and then off of those routines, then you can build other things. Reminders you can set up for anything. Like I can remind myself, like when I'm on my way home from work and I forget, I'll be like, oh, remember you have to take the steak out of the refrigerator. Because when I get home, it'll remind me, I'll get a page or it'll talk to me, and then I'll remember to do it. But you can use anything from as complex of a thing as you want right down to the simplest task.
Got it. Okay, so the other question is, we're taking all this video. What kind of storage options do we have, locally or cloud-based, subscription or not? How does that work?
So Hoop has 2 capabilities. First, it has micro SD card, so you can save everything right on the Hoop locally. And then there's also a subscription package where you do get cloud storage, but with our subscription package, the subscription package is actually for both the smart features and the cloud storage together. So the cameras themselves work like normal security cameras without the enhanced features, but to use the facial recognition and everything, it's $12.99 per month for 3 cameras, and then it's additional $1.99 per month for each additional camera after that.
And I'm sure the capacity of this depends on what size card you get for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it could go multiple months depending on the size card you have, or a variance from there.
Well, I know from the display here, it comes in a lot of colors.
Yeah, we have five different colors. That was another thing that the consumers actually noted. They noted that they wanted a little bit more style, because the cameras that are out there today really stick out, and they wanted something that will blend in a little bit more with the environment that they're in. So we came out with 5 colors. We have a gray, a white, we have blue, green, and red as well. And they come in 2 different formats. So we have a stationary camera, and this one actually has a magnetic base. So you could stick it on a wall, on a ceiling, and you have the capability of moving it around magnetically, and it stays in place. The second version actually has pan and tilt capabilities. So through the app, you can actually control it with your finger, and it has 350 degrees of panning and then 90 degrees of tilt. Price point wise, $89.99 for the small one and $129.99 for the larger one.
And just to be sure, I understand this one. I can control it with the app, so I can control it remotely.
Yes.
I don't have to be even on site.
100%. I can control the hoop that's in my hallway at home, right from here, right now, as if I was standing right next to it.
Well, very cool device. The website is?
The website is myhoophome.com.
Hoophome.com.
Hoophome.com.
And these are available now?
Absolutely available right now.
Paul, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Folks, we'll have more from ShowStoppers and CES in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.